What's up, everybody? Turn God Possibilities here, back again to continue. What if Asta and Yuno obtain the solo leveling system? Part 4. Now, last time we left off, Asta and Yuno just completed their first dungeon, defeating the boss, which was that giant snake Song Jin-woo had to face in his first dungeon. Which, after, what I have to say, if you watch the last part, they killed it. I meant, like, really did extremely well. Now, they did get items. Both of them got the same venom, just like Song Jin-woo, and Yuno got the same dagger with the same effect, bleed and paralyze. Also obtained a snake-scaled jacket, and that's pretty much it. Now, let's get to the video, starting now. But before we actually start, as you can see from the thumbnail, I have a completely new thumbnail, which, thanks to another YouTuber who was willing to help me create a thumbnail for me, which the name of the YouTuber, well, a link to his channel will be in the description below. I keep forgetting his name and forgot how to pronounce it, so yeah. But the description to his channel will be down in below. Okay, let's continue. Let's get on with it. As Asta and Yuno leave the dungeon, they both inspect their items and everything else that they got from the dungeon, which they also notice that they're leveling. Well, actually, they already knew about the level, but they inspect the items, which the venom, which they did have a lot of time to test out and examine the skills they have, which is the same exact skill, unnamed skill Song Jin-woo had. Both of them have it, which notifies any kind of harmful material that would harm the player's body, like poisons, curses, and that sort of stuff, and debuffs, which Yuno used us as a test subject again to make sure it would work, and he tested out the venom, which it completely nullified the harmful part of the buff was nullified, which he gained a 25% physical resistance increase. So yeah, they also test out a few things, and so yeah, as they continue on, a time skip. About a couple weeks have passed, and both Asta and Yuno have leveled up quite a bit, and Yuno obtained a few skills. Same dagger arts Song Jin-woo obtained when he kept using daggers for a long period of time. They both went through a whole bunch of dungeons and got some materials from the bosses. They both did the same dungeon went into the same dungeon with each other every single time. Which also, they were still in a party. They did take notice of that and see that they, even after leaving the dungeon, that they were still in a party. They tried to question it, but they found out that that they had an option of disbanding it. Which I'm gonna say, since there's two soul leveling systems here, well, if you didn't watch the last part, so yeah, I'll explain it again. Since there's two soul leveling systems now, I'm adding in the party system, and since there's only these gates, if someone else went in with Asa or they also form a party, but they will have a severely limited leveling system, not like Yuno's and Asta's. So yeah, as they continue on, it's been about a couple weeks, and about about a week before which time passed, and it's about a week before the Magic Night exam. They both head back to Hage Village. Truly head back to Hage Village because they've been on the outskirts of Hage Village because they didn't know if the system was bad or some good or anything. Not sure if it could harm the church, the kids at the church, or the sister and the priest. So yeah, they truly returned to Hage Village, saying hi to everyone and bye, which everyone, especially the priest and the sister, well, Sister Lily, were shocked on Asta's growth spurt. He's just as tall as Yuno now, and his hair is a lot longer, and also he's had a lot more buff. Which for Yuno, he's a tad bit taller, face features more defined, so is Asta, and also Yuno is actually the same level of buff as Song Jin-woo. Priest is crying, saying, Asta finally had his growth spurt. He's just bawling, his eyes just bawling out tears. As they both leave, the people at the church wave their hands goodbye. As they both head towards the capital for the Magic Night exam, both Asta and Yuno still did the same dungeons together, which they did get better and better dungeons each time. Most of the time, actually, but yeah. As they continue on, they arrive at the capital 3 days early, but didn't go into the capital, go into the city itself. They stayed on the outskirts, because they don't want to look strange to them when they're training, or they want to be, so they don't draw any attention. But as soon as they arrive, on the first day before the Magic Night, 3 days before the Magic Night exam, after completing dungeon and reaching level 40, both Asta and Yuno obtained a notification saying that they both reached the requirements to do the job change quests, which they're surprised on. They both prepare so they could do the job change quest later that day, which they do separately because they can only allow one or the other to do it. Which they're still in a party, but they're doing separate dungeons. Well, technically dungeons, but it's job change quests. And I'm just gonna say the job change quests both of them have the same exact job change quests. It's pretty much the same area. The only difference is it's going to be a different color. Sorry about that. If you hear noise in the background, that's my family. Now, let's continue on. As well, I was saying, both of them have a different color Igris. Yuno has a green Igris, and Asta pretty much has the red Igris. But before that, they did the dungeon. They also got the notification saying that they cannot use they can't use the shop or any potions that they had on hand. They're completely restricted from using either one. So yeah, as they can actually go through the job change quest area, both Asta and Yuno got a lot of armor and gear. As just the same exact armor and gear as Song Jin-woo. The only difference is Asta had a little extra because he had the jacket. And they also got the option of either able to show it, to visually show it or not. Just like in other other RPG games, they can sometimes allow their capes, if they had a cape or not, to be shown or not shown. In this case, it's the entire armor. But as they continue, they both got a good bit of armor and, well, yeah. Right before they arrive at the, right as they arrive at the, what they assume to be the boss room, both of them get a slight chill because they know that this thing's stronger than them. For Yuno, he pretty much did the exact same thing as Song Jin-woo, but with a little added of help from his wind magic. His wind spells and grimoire. And with a little, because of the 4-leaf, it gives the blessing of luck or something, so yeah. As for Asta, he fought the Red Knight Igris head on, which earned the respect of the knight. Earned the respect of Red Igris. As they fought, Asta used his second sword skill, which is a 7-hit combo sword skill. I got from Sword Art Online. It's called the Deadly Sins. A 7-hit skill that consists of various slashes, several full circle spins, and backward somersaults. Which has a 7 point cost of anti-magic points. Unlike his other skill, which is a 200 cost. So yeah. He used his speed and strength at the same time so he can catch Igris off guard. And with the anti-magic sword, he was able to cut through Igris like butter. Since Igris was somewhat like a magic suit of armor. That's because I couldn't really see its face within that black void. So yeah. It's actually, a black suit of armor with a soul, but yeah. As they continue, Igris meant, as they finally completed, both of them finally beat their Igris. Both Asta and Yuno obtain the skill stone, Dominator's touch, and the teleport stone. And also their first S-class item, the Igris' helmet, which they both put on. But they both wary because they thought this was the end, but when they got the teleport stone, they realized that this isn't the end. As they come to that conclusion, they both get a notification saying that the actual test will now begin. As about to fight a whole bunch of knights, which he struggles a little bit just like Song Jin-woo did. But as for Asta, he somewhat mows them down like a tank, but it's also having a little bit of trouble. Which he's able to cut through them even more like butter because they were actual summons, magic summons. Then, as Yuno gets backed into a corner, he starts to doubt himself. Then he gets a notification saying that he has failed to complete his daily quests, which also gets the same notifications, but it's a little different. He gets a notification saying that his party member has failed to complete. Your party member has failed to complete the daily quest. You and him will be transported to the penalty zone, which none of them have actually been transported to the penalty zone yet. So they're a little shocked, and Asta's thinking, you idiot, or you, what? He just thinks to himself, well, says out loud, saying, what the heck did you think you're doing? Or something like on that, along those lines. As the timer counts down as it counts down to 0, both of them teleport to the penalty zone, desert, and all that. And that's it for the what if. So yeah, hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to comment down below what you think of the new thumbnail for this what if, which I'm gonna have a new thumbnail for each one of my what ifs. And don't forget to check out the my friend's channel, who's in the description down below. So yeah, with that out of the way, I bid you adieu. Bye.